There are a lot of good games in the pipeline for 2022 and beyond. That doesn't just include new entries in series and new properties, there are also plenty of remakes that promise to bring a fresh, next-gen perspective to classic and beloved games. Welcome to Uncapt Gaming, I'm Dale, and here are the remakes that the team are most anticipating. We've picked out 4 games that we know have a remake in development, and 3 games where rumours of a remake are getting serious mileage. Let's dive right into it. First, the games we know are getting a remake. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Originally slated for a release a year ago, Prince of Persia was first delayed to March 2021 and then indefinitely, and as at the time of writing, we still don't have a set release date. The 2003 original was a critically acclaimed action platformer for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox generation, often praised as one of the best games of all time. It spawned a sequel, a 2010 movie adaptation, which was the highest grossing video game movie ever until Warcraft came along, and even indirectly birthed the Assassin's Creed franchise. The game's combat system inspired not just Assassin's Creed, but games from Batman Arkham to Spider-Man, and it will be very interesting to see how a remake with current gen technology will build upon that. The House of the Dead. The House of the Dead remake doesn't have a release date yet, but Nintendo Switch owners can add it to their wishlist now, and it appears to be exclusive to the Switch so far. The original game was an arcade game before migrating to the Sega Saturn, and the on-the-rails light gun experience it offers is probably one of the closest a console player can get to that pure arcade experience. It also shares credit, or responsibility depending on how you look at it, with Resident Evil for popularizing zombies in video games. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake was announced in the September 2021 PlayStation Showcase. No release date came with the announcement trailer, and rumours suggest it will come out in 2023. First released for the Xbox and Windows in 2003, the game is set 4,000 years before the Empire, and is an RPG where your player character can make choices that determine your allegiance to the light or dark side of the Force. As one of the top rated games of all time, the remake is highly anticipated and also marks the first appearance of the franchise on the PlayStation. Dead Space. Expected to release in late 2022, the Dead Space remake marks the return of the series after 9 years. Heavily influenced by Resident Evil and Silent Hill, Dead Space has its own place in the pantheon of iconic survival horror games. You play as Isaac Clarke, fighting necromorphs on the spaceship Ishimura. After the success of Resident Evil 2 Remake in particular, survival horror fans will be keenly anticipating this remake to see if it too manages to capture the spirit of a classic game whilst revamping it for the current generation. Now, onto the rumours. Legacy of Kain: Soul Reaver. Initially rumoured to be coming out in 2021, the Legacy of Kain remake still lacks not only a release date, but official confirmation that it's actually in the works. However, many avid fans hope so. The 1999 PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast game was actually itself a sequel to Blood Omen: Legacy of Kain, a 2D dungeon crawler hack and slash. However, set 1,500 years later with a different character, it is Soul Reaver which captured fans' imagination with the first appearance of playable character Raziel. Kain, the first game's protagonist, is now our enemy and final boss. It has been a while since any further news followed the initial rumours, but in the meantime, Blood Omen made its way back to the PC via GOG in September. Resident Evil 4. We've already had a remake of Resident Evil 4 in 2021, with the VR version on the Oculus Quest receiving critical acclaim, but here we're talking about rumours of a proper next-gen console and PC remake of the original, following on from similar remakes of RE2 and 3. Amongst Resident Evil fans, opinion is divided on the remake, with some eager for it, some saying the original still holds up, and some saying a remake of Resident Evil called Veronica should come first. The latter is coming at least in the form of a fan project set to release in 3 chapters over the course of 2022. But RE4 was a game changer. Not only did it mark a serious departure for the series from survival horror to action horror, and then to action in later games with very mixed reception, but it also popularised the over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. As such, there are a great many people looking for another chance to take Leon S. Kennedy to rural Spain, this time with fully upgraded modern graphics and mechanics. The Last of Us. Rumours of a remake to The Last of Us began last year, but have accelerated recently. Naughty Dog president Neil Druckmann hinted that the company has multiple projects in development, and whilst he didn't name them, further rumours have suggested that 2022 will see the release of not only the remake, but also a director's cut of the second game and a standalone Battle Royale multiplayer. The original Last of Us was highly critically acclaimed, in particular for its strong, character-driven storytelling. However, the gameplay was very much of its time. The sequel from 2020 marked a huge improvement in the combat mechanics and enemy AI, as well as the graphics, which fans hoped would add a lot of value to the experience of that game. But it's fair to say, whilst many would welcome a remake, others view it as unnecessary and far more anxious for the multiplayer to come out, given how popular the first game's factions multiplayer still remains. These aren't the only remakes coming up, of course. If we've missed out one that you're really looking forward to, then drop into the comments to tell us what it is and why you're looking forward to it. Of those we've mentioned, which are your most anticipated? Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more gaming news, reviews, and unprofessional opinions. See you next time.